Good evening, how are we all doing? We good? Yeah. That's what I like to hear. Now, I know John said we'll try and entertain you and educate you, but I guess he's half right because educating is a bit of a stretch. Well, for me anyway. But you're probably wondering, what's an Asian bloke doing at an event like this in a pub? Well, no one's ordered a taxi, have they? Don't try ordering one now. You're only going to make me oversensitive. But no, I was talking to my friend the other day, right? I said, I don't want to be one of these comics that's always talking about racism or the colour of my skin. So just speak about what you know. So I thought, racism is then. That old chestnut. You see, as a kid, right, I'd be in the garden with my dad, right? And all you'd hear is, boy, go back to your own country. And my dad would get really angry. Don't you dare say that to your father. I only used to do it when he wound me up. But I remember kids at school used to be the meanest. Once this girl came on to me and goes, why do you love curries so much? I think I received a new laptop. Yeah, I was actually born and raised in the northwest of Pakistan. And where I come from, right, the women wear burqas and we're governed by Sharia law. And that's what life's like living in Bolton. Yeah, some weird things used to happen to me from time to time. I remember once, I got mistaken for a white person. Can you believe it? I ordered a pizza, I went to collect it, and the bloke at the checkout said to me, is that for Derek? For Derek? Me? Does this face look like a Derek to you? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not getting anything against anyone being called Derek. But can you imagine if a middle-aged white man walked in and I went, alright, Mohammed, fancy 12-inch pizza? That would go on really well, wouldn't it? But what I love about that is, in the fact of that guy's mind, it was entirely plausible that an Asian man could be called Derek. Can you imagine a Pakistani couple coming home from the hospital, right, with a newborn in the back? So, darling, what should we call our little one? Should we call it Imran, like the cricketer? No, let's call it Derek. Very quintessential Pakistani name, that, isn't it? He'll fit in really well at Mehdi's Balti house. Do you ever notice how people get really aggressive when they're hungry? Like the idea of starvation almost leads them to committing hate crimes. I'll give you an example. I was with my neighbour Carol the other day, right? I sat down having a brew. She turns around to me and goes, oh, I'll tell you what, Ash, I can murder an Indian tonight. Cheeky bitch! She then signed her stomach because she wants to have a baby. The idea of murdering an Indian got her pregnant. Oh, I can feel her flutter. Oh, it's kicking. Yeah, kicking with an exchange student from India. You look across the living room and she's got the leftovers from the night before. They're chicken jar phrasing. Strangled to death by cling film. A Peshwari number riddled by bullets. I'm telling you, people get really aggressive when they're hungry. What are you having on the weekend, Carol? Oh, I might smash a Chinese. Yeah, I'm waiting for her to take out the Europeans, you know. I'll tell you what, I might slaughter a Scandinavian. Butcher a Bulgarian. Yeah. Faith's a big part of my upbringing. My parents are Muslim, as am I, except weekends. But I've realised you've got to be careful when you're out in public places. Like, I went to pick up my sister from the airport recently. I've not seen her in a long time. So naturally, I was excited to see her. She came through arrivals and all I said was, "Hi, sis! I'll come and join you. Go on, give us your rucksack." You should have seen some of the looks I got. Unbelievable. But I'm trying to be a better Muslim these days. But I don't always get it right. Like, I'm constantly wrestling my urges and desires. Like, I've stopped drinking now. I've stopped sleeping around with women. Not by choice. Yeah. Although truth be told, I can't remember the last time I had sex. I remember it had been that long, right? I came out of lockdown and I started identifying as a virgin. I even changed my pronouns to Richard Branson. But there's a misconception that Muslims don't enjoy sex or have enough of it. But there's 1.6 billion of us. I'd go go one step further, so we're a bit more adventurous and kinky than we actually are. Take Shamima Bailey, for example. She was so horny, she flew 1,000 miles just to be an ISIS bride at 15. At that age, I was still trying to work out what my dick was for. I was using it for pissing. I'd wait for my parents to go to bed just so I could go downstairs and watch Babe Station. Yeah. But Shamima said in the newspaper, right, that she was interrogated and made to feel scared by ISIS fighter Jihadi John. Now what I want to know is, what sort of terrorist calls themselves John? What kind of name's that? John? John's like a retired skill teacher that lives with his wife Sue. Walks with a bit of a limp and his back aches every time he farts. That's who John is, isn't it? Like calling the Archbishop of Canterbury Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Doesn't make any sense, does it? But Shamima goes on to say that she was made to feel scared. But what was she expecting? Employee of the month? Imagine John, right Shamima, come on, step into me cave, love. Right, so in line with ISIS's long-term strategy, your stupidity's up by 50%. So congratulations. And in line, you know, with your family and friends, they'll no longer be getting beheaded. Yeah. The world's going mad. People say some dumb stuff from time to time. I remember I told my friends I was doing stand-up comedy, right? And the first reaction was, go on then, tell us a joke. Let's see how funny you are. Call yourself a comedian, right? And at first I was going to rise to the challenge, but then I realised you wouldn't necessarily get that sort of reaction in any other situation, would you? Like my friend was a lifeguard, right? At swimming baths, right? But I wouldn't jump into the deep end and say, go on then, stop me from drowning. Let's see how brave you are. Call yourself a lifeguard. What would you? Like one of my friends now, she's a female, right? She identifies as a female. But I would never say to her, go on then, start an argument for no reason. Let's see if you can say I'm fine when you're not. You don't, would you? I've been Ash Gorsi, I'm going to get a taxi. Thank you very much for listening.